Alright guys, we had a really good question from one of our viewers, and they want to start collar conditioning a dog that's already conditioned to an invisible fence. So we get a lot of dogs in here that have been on the invisible fence. Very important things to do, because really when you're collar conditioning a dog, you want them ideally to be a clean slate. But since that's not always going to be the case, you need to be ready to be flexible. So what I tell people to do is take an inventory of the dog's behavior regarding the invisible fence. Was the type that hypersensitive? If you had a professional come to your house and do it, what kind of comments were they making? We had one dog that came one time and the lady said, "Oh, the man said he's never seen one, learn that quick." Yeah, that dog was hypersensitive, one nick, and it didn't want to cross the fence. It would freeze and stuff, and partly because we always talk about that with the nick, you guys. The nick isn't upsetting if it's, not unexpected or uncontrollable. A lot of times when people are conditioning them with the invisible fence, then it kind of becomes unexpected. And the problem with that is now it's the environmental correction. So we have to make the leap for the dog to understand, the pager and the nick are now us communicating with you. So take a big inventory of what the dog's responses were to the invisible fence. Was it the type that just ran across, and they made comments like, "We've never seen a dog that had to have it turned up this high," or, stuff like that. The second thing you're going to do is you're going to collar condition the dog as far away from possible as the invisible fence. You're not going to go out there in your yard and start collar conditioning the dog. So you need to go someplace else to collar condition the dog. Eventually you'll be able to kind of blend the two together, but in the beginning, go someplace completely different to start your collar conditioning, and you may have to spend more time on the leash helping the dog understand initially, move in my direction when you feel that. But most people, well, they do have the invisible fence with the pager on it. I haven't really come across anybody that had that yet, but once they're collar conditioned with the collar, then the invisible fence is easy to introduce. But if it gets reversed, that's the main thing you want to remember. Take an inventory. Was the dog, previously sensitive to the invisible fence, or was it insensitive? And the second thing, remember, condition the dog with the collar away from the property where the invisible fence is. Okay? All right. I hope that helps. Bye, you guys.